This is Brandon, I'm Sarah, and of course, our beloved Aiko. Frustrated by the ever-increasing cost of living, we sold everything, went out on a limb, and left our traditional life on land behind. We built a new kind of dream together, and have been living full-time in our homemade slice of paradise ever since. We are always learning new ways to navigate this unique life off the grid and on the water, so grab a drink and join us for the ever-evolving adventure that is keeping afloat.
All around, it gets a lot more complicated and logistically challenging once this water comes up enough for it to float these.
I mean, we could be literally a week and a half away from having to float these somewhere and finish them. So that's going to be a logistic nightmare.
That raises the blood pressure a little bit.
We're never going to get these finished by the time the water hits them. We're going to have to come up with an idea to finish them in the water. It's just a problem, and we just have to figure out how to solve it.
Let me explain how we got into this little predicament. The lake that Brandon and I live on, which is also where we are building these new floating cabins, does this funny little thing where it drops a whopping 60 feet in the wintertime. It's all dam controlled. Luckily, it's not about drought or some suburb sucking all the water out. It's just a big old reservoir in the middle of a temperate rainforest, and so they lower it in order to make space for flood storage during the season of increased precipitation. And I know 60 vertical feet of water over the span of a 10,000 acre lake might sound like some serious overkill for flood storage, but sure enough, we've actually seen it come up 25 feet in a single day. Anyways, the main thing to understand is that every winter it drops, and every spring it rises back up, and this happens in a very calculated and predictable manner and timeline. So when we began these two new floating cabin builds on the newly dried lake bed this past winter, we were pretty confident we'd be able to finish them by the time the water rose up to their level around the middle of May. But alas, here we are, barely mid-April, experiencing mid-May water levels for the first time that we've ever seen for a seemingly unexplainable reason that we can't figure out, with two unfinished floating cabins that aren't anchored and can't stay long-term where they are currently sitting. That's our predicament. But like Brandon said, it's just a problem that we have to solve. It's as simple as that. But simple doesn't always mean easy. We're taking you along for the ride this week as we solve this unexpected problem and figure out how and where to transport these unfinished cabins to a safe and ideally convenient place where they can get finished once and for all, so we can turn the keys over to a couple lucky new owners. Let's get right into it, shall we? Unfortunately, always a downside of the lake coming up. All the trash that is, on the shorelines that's washed up over the winter starts floating around and piling in these coves again. Need to bring a big old trash bag over here, clearly. But for today, I know a little girl who will love a ball like this. Here's a little update of the cut. You guys.
We are getting ready to take these bad boys back down the lake so we can finish them at Fontana Marina, where we can tie them up and work on them because there's nowhere here to do it.
Pretty much made our decision for us, huh?
Yeah, something we're gonna have
Just
to
is what it
do.
is.
Right now, we're currently here just tying these up to the bank on the off chance that this comes up all of a sudden. We don't want to get caught with our pants down, basically, and these not be tied up to anything with it so close to floating. So even though that's not where it's going to stay, we got to have some kind of security, right? Just for the next couple days until they do float.
Boom, boom, there's a knock at the door, but don't freeze in your tracks. It's that chance that you've been waiting for. It's the light coming through the cracks.
so these are not finished. I'm hoping they float front heavy like they did when we built ours, because then the back's tilted up, and as we tow them down the lake, it's less friction on it.
Tow them backwards?
Yeah, we're gonna tow them backwards. Whichever way they're heavy, we're towing them.
With that in the back?
Yeah.
Yeah. At the very least, if it starts floating before we anticipate, at least we'll know where to find them. Okay, last but not least, not too for sure why, but one of the floats is not attached. It's not bolted in like all the others. One of these is not like the others. Can't be having that, because it probably won't float away since it's tucked in there, but it's functionally useless. We're gonna try and at least secure it, jerry rig it.
We cannot tighten that one on where it's at.
One of these?
No, the one in the back.
Oh.
We can't get our hand in there. So I get me two and you two, so that's enough. Well, you're just gonna lean it towards me.
Like pick my end up.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna slide it to you. We gotta get it, the washers under the lip. See how the lip's right there on the float? And it goes through here?
I can't hold that leg forever.
Yeah, so pick it up in the air and I'll push it to you.
Got one. Yeah, oh, that was it.
You got one?
Okay.
Alright, now let's go to the other side.
Alright. Ugh. That was a pain. I'm too young for my knees to feel this way. I prefer swimming under here in the water.
With the houses tied off to shore as the water continued to rise inch by inch, we gave it the evening and made our way back home for dinner, and were met with an unexpected surprise.
Some kind of bone? Is that a pelvis? Jaw? Oh, Lord have mercy.
Wait a minute, that's not the surprise. Let me cut to the most stunning reminder of how amazingly blessed we are to call this lake home, no matter what the water levels may be.
Look at it, baby.
Oh, it's in the cove.
It almost wants to be a double rainbow. You see it?
Down in our cove.
Yeah.
I see it in the water.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
So cool.
It is. Yay. Alright guys, this evening I've got another installment of Why Not, which as a reminder, if you're new with us, is my little cooking series where I try a new recipe, because why not? Life's short, gotta try new things. I don't know if it's gonna succeed because I've never tried it before, and you guys come along for the journey with me. So I will show you our ingredients for today. So I'm not 100% sure what you call this. This is gonna be kind of something akin to a soup, like a broccoli Alfredo bean soup, I guess. This was a recipe that I saw on TikTok, and it was a one skillet meal, which I love recipes with very few dishes. First up, broth. That's gonna simmer for 5 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and drain and rinse my beans. And you know what, I didn't call for it, but I just feel like a couple cloves of garlic would be wise. And if I had a white onion, I would add a white onion. Chicken, I had some mushrooms.
think this is a versatile dish. There's a lot of stuff I can envision being really good in it. Time for our white beans. Alfredo sauce time. Oh, I love the sound of a jaw opening. That's pretty much it. Now it just simmers for 10 minutes, and at the very end I'll stir in the spinach and the Parmesan. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and slice the sourdough and get that toasting a little bit so it's nice and crunchy, crispy.
Y'all have a good night, guys.
Hey, love y'all.
See
See
ya.
ya.
Have a wonderful night.
Oh yeah.
Bum bada bum bum bum.
Got rum in it.
Well, no, but your cup does.
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mmm. Delicious. Why not?
All right, so today begins the logistical headache of dealing with these cabins now that they're about to float. So what we got to do today is Brandon is driving a pontoon boat down the lake about 45 minutes, maybe 40 minutes to Prince where the boats are. I have to drive my car around and meet him there and then bring him back. And then we'll do the same thing all over again. He'll drive a second one down there. I'll pick him up, bring him back. We're pretty sure they're not going to float today. It'd be so nice if they were because we could do this all in one day. But that way we'll be staged and ready for tomorrow or the next day when they most definitely will be floating. Let the games begin.
I know, it's just barely coming up. And I swear once people start hitting their AC here today, that they're gonna be like, oh shit, we need more power. We gotta run those generators.
I mean, that's pretty deep. About 6 more inches and that's gonna float. This is a little higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. The app says, so this is like a play-by-play hour.
Hey, Miss Bear, we made it back. Want a midday potty? Bear's been limping. I don't know if you guys can see her little limp. You've been stiff lately, huh? I think you might got a little arthritis going on. Here's another reference point for the water levels that you guys might be familiar with. Zig cut. So while we are doing some of this boring logistical stuff, I thought this might be a good time to talk about some of the questions that we get periodically about, like, how is it decided where the floating cabins go, and you know, can you just put them wherever you want, or how does that work? You guys know that we have a mooring fee that we pay, but like the specific spot that's chosen, who decides that, right? Basically how it works is that the TVA rules, TVA is the power company that created and owns our lake. The TVA rules state that all of the floating cabins have to be within designated harbor limits. So they can't just be floating around, you know, aimlessly. They can't be moored out on the main channel where there are hazards to navigation. They have to be somewhere where there are other ones where a boater could reasonably expect to be seeing them, because it's not just a one-off. There are 4 or 5 harbors on our lake to choose from, and as far as which harbor you're in goes, generally speaking, most people will, if they buy a boathouse, they'll just leave it where it was because it is such a pain to move it. So most of the time when you're buying one, you're kind of taking into consideration the location that it's in. Not that you are like stuck with it, but it is, you know, it is a pain to move it. But if you wanted to move it, you could. And how that works is that you just have to get approval from the harbor master of wherever it is that you want to move it. Let's say you want to move it and you get approval from the harbor master as far as where specifically in that harbor goes. That is going to be up to the harbor master. They're going to decide that based on factors like how the house is shaped, how it's going to move, what the mooring situation is going to be like, what's going to be safest for you and your house and everybody around you. They're not going to put houses so close together that they would hit each other. They know how the lake works whenever it goes down, like if that's a good spot for it in the wintertime or if it would need to be moved in the wintertime. There's a lot of things that you have to take into consideration, and that's just a decision that's best left up to somebody who really, really knows that harbor, such as the harbor master. So yeah, that's kind of how it works.
I don't remember this being in the water when we came earlier.
No, that's come up since earlier, for sure.
All right, so we got all the edges straight cut now. We can hook a boat up to them safely. We're about ready, y'all. At this point, we were 100% confident that these babies would be floating come morning time. So with both pontoon boats at the ready, all lumbered, centered on the docks, the edges trimmed down, and bags packed for the long haul down the lake tomorrow morning, we rested easy and slept like babies. Just kidding. Today.
Once we get through their narrow channel, their Prince, we're in big open water. And then once we get on the main channel, ain't no big deal. But the wind today is supposed to be 1 to 4 miles an hour all day. It's supposed to be perfect. Open the windows up in them, that way they're not just big wind cells. But I've never towed two at the same time, so this is new for me.
Today's the day. I'm actually not going because I gotta take care of the bear. It's way too long to leave her alone. Even if we took her with us, it's just way too long for her to not go to the bathroom. Brandon and Jericho are getting it going, and I'll help them when they come into the harbor.
Just barely floating. Yep. Alright, we're gonna get these boats hooked up. By that point, Jericho should be here and the boys will get rolling.
There's Jericho. We're just coming up with the game plan to get out of here. Lowell's boat will be on this side.
Okay.
I got the fenders on it. This boat, once we yank this out, you'll come around and tie up on that side. One rope to tie here, and that blue one in the back.
Cool.
Got the fenders on the side.
Sick.
You got your earphones, earpods?
I got AirPods, yeah.
We might get on a call until once we get where that sun goes around that beam. Once we get past that, we're f***ing good.
Yep.
Right
No, it's gonna be a
right in here is just see those things floating.
Yeah.
The houses can go right over those. We can't with the boats.
Yeah.
Those are anchored.
Yep. It's gonna be like playing a Plinko machine.
Yeah, but there's no wind. Even if we get close to something, we have to go back there and just push off. You know,
Yep.
just go real slow.
Cool.
Ain't gonna be bad, bro. Once we get past all this, it's gonna be the most boring day ever of just chilling and riding.
Nah, I brought a couple books, a newspaper. I think we'll be nice.
I was like, I hope Jericho brings things to do because he can't sit still for that long.
I got my book. I was gonna go up to my property yesterday and get I've got a really nice like rocking chair that's got a
that'd be
thing
cool.
that goes over it. I was
Yeah.
gonna bring it, but I didn't have time yesterday.
All right, officially untied.
So it begins. I'm not even the one towing these. My heart's pounding.
How they look?
Perfect.
Awesome.
Can you trim it up any? Yanking them out a little bit so that they don't hit that dock as they make the turn.
There's so many obstacles in this harbor. Like, do you see a clear path out of here? There they are. How you doing, Miss Hobbles? Oh, you hurting? I'm so sorry. I ordered you more stuff, and your vets are coming tomorrow. Yeah, is it this one? You're a good girl. You want to go run around? You want to loosen it up? Come on. It's like, I think it's arthritis because it doesn't, like, once she gets going and she starts, you know, moving around and getting loose, it goes away and she doesn't have it anymore. So that makes me think it's not an injury. What are you doing? Look at her. Miss Hobbles miraculously has been resurrected. Bear. You feeling better? You loosened up? All right, guys, final status report on the cut for this week. We've got water. Holla. What do you think? She likes it. It's like her own little private sandbar. Miss Bear and I passed a little time as Brandon and Jericho continued the 6 or 7 hour drive on down the lake.
Here we are. One house, two house, passing Sawyer's Creek, baby. Bringing it home.
It worked out well to hang out at the cut so we could be the first to see those beautiful new builds finally reveal themselves at the mouth of the harbor to begin their final leg, the home stretch.
trip.
I can't believe how fast you guys got here.
We did have to turn around one time because Brandon about lost the drone.
I heard. We literally didn't decide until this morning where we were going to put them. So this is all very figured out as we go. We had a lot of different ideas of where to put them. We knew that we could put at least one. Well, we could only put one on the lay-along, like where we did our house partially. But we can't put both on there. It'll break the lay-along, you know, in a big windstorm. So really the struggle has been trying to figure out what to do with the second one, which we thought about putting it behind our house, like where we sit in the summertime. We thought about a couple other spots in the harbor, but everywhere just seemed a little bit too sketchy and too exposed to like the wind and whatnot. And we finally came up with an idea.
All right, so here's where they're gonna put it, just in this big old gap along the lay along here. And then where we're gonna put the second one is right over there in that little cove. It's totally protected by this big old hillside right there. Most of our winds come from up there and blow out. So, you know, out there in the harbor, you get hit. But right in here, just because the ramp is so tall, it's always super protected. And so the idea is that we're trying to make it so they don't have to take a boat to the cabins to work on them at any point. Because, trust me, it makes it so much more difficult, even if it's a short drive. Just the unloading and reloading of all material so many times. So when we do it like this, they can just work on one at a time, finish the one that's on the lay along. We can go anchor it, then replace it with the other one that was sitting out in the cove. That's our goal. We'll see how it goes. The unknown factor is just that we're not sure. I mean, we think that there's so little wind in that cove and it's all protected by the marina and the giant mountain behind it. We think it'll be okay without an anchor, just tied off to the trees, but it is an unknown. So we'll see. All right. Here we go, the dismount, if you will. This is gonna be the second hardest part after getting them out of the harbor that they were in. Touchdown. Hell yes. You guys crushed that.
It's like we've done that.
That was, yeah. That was like,
Not bad. It was smooth the whole way.
yeah.
Except for we had a little bit of debris to have to deal with.
Some debris,
The drone
yes.
incident was really rough. It went into Brandon mode. And I was just flying and everything was going good. And then all of a sudden the red light came on the screen and it sat there. And was
I
like,
wonder
We
what.
kept on trucking.
And we kept on trucking and I'm hitting all the buttons.
Oh
I'm
no.
like, what's going on with this? Something's messed up. And finally I was like, let's turn the boat. Or he was like, let's go back, turn them around. We'll try to land
Oh,
it on it.
I mean, what a huge headache.
I was
Like, of
wishing-
all
I was
times.
wishing we were facing the other way so we could just open these doors and try to just catch the drone.
Yeah.
Saunders Creek, that was really
Fun stuff. I got me a nice piece of driftwood.
Oh, did you really?
They sit great. I'm just
I'd say.
amazed how well they sit in the water.
Was there any wind?
None. And it
Oh
was
my
the
gosh.
only breeze we got blowing down, so it was perfect.
Well, good job.
I'm gonna go get me a hot pocket.
Get you a hot pocket, brother.
Right, got in the dinghy and pushed it every which way to simulate the wind, and it seems like those will hold it just fine, you know, for now, so. Getting these bad boys here in one piece wasn't the only victory this week. We are ecstatic to say that one of these new builds is now spoken for, so that just leaves the second one still up for grabs. Shoot us an email if you might be interested and let's talk shop. Ultimately, although it might be a longer drive for the guys to work on these, with the stressor of rising lake levels behind us and a solution in place that illuminates the need for a boat, we chalk up this move as a major win, and we're so looking forward to sharing the remaining progress and final touches. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next update. We share our adventures right here every weekend. We'll see you on the next one.